Why does my dog fart? Have you ever been having guests over or just relaxing in front of the TV when suddenly you noticed a nasty smell, which might have been preceded by a toot? It is common practice to place blame for episodes of nearly toxic odors on the dog, even though all animals, including humans, can pass gas. To tell you the truth, the dog is occasionally to blame for things. The question that needs to be answered is this merely an annoyance, or could it be due to some kind of gastrointestinal disease? Some dogs fart when they are excited or anxious, which can cause them to swallow air. If your dog's farting is getting worse or making them uncomfortable, you may want to talk to your vet to ensure there aren't any health problems. In certain circumstances, the odor associated with the condition can be so disagreeable that it disrupts the bond between the pet and its owner. According to a recent article written by Ed Kane, Ph.D., for DVM 360 magazine, persistence in finding the cause and crafting a solution can help keep owners content and your canine patients in their homes. Flatus or flatulence is the term for the uncomfortable condition that is commonly accepted in proper conversations. This term refers to the unpleasant condition that occurs when excess gas from the GI tract is expelled through the anus. Is a dog's diet possibly the reason for their gas? According to Kane's research, gases with an offensive odor can be caused by indigestible carbohydrates and high levels of meat products. According to his article, bloating and flatulence are also linked to eating beans and soybeans, feces, and table scraps. Table foods and treats should only make up 10 to 20% of a pet's total energy intake, according to Joe Wachschlag, DVM, Ph.D., DACVM, Daxamer, Associate Professor of Clinical Nutrition at the Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine. Wachschlag recommends that owners limit table foods and treats to this percentage. Is it possible that a dog's flatulence indicates gastrointestinal disease? Incomplete digestion and absorption, also known as malabsorption, can lead to increased gas production and is linked to several diseases and conditions, including ulcerative colitis and inflammatory bowel disease. According to Dr. Haynes, patients with inflammatory bowel disease have a GI tract filled with inflammatory cells like lymphocytes and plasmacytes. The inflammation causes changes in the contents of the intestinal tract and disruptions in the normal microflora. This can lead to bacterial overgrowth, which impairs the intestine's ability to absorb nutrients normally. How exactly does one determine what's making a dog fart? The process of determining what causes excessive flatulence can be very challenging. It may involve GI imaging, such as ultrasound, and blood tests to look for exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, EPI, inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, or pancreatitis. Cobalamin, also known as vitamin B12, and folate concentrations are two additional tests that may be performed. Endoscopic or surgical biopsies are frequently required to further evaluate for inflammatory bowel disease, IBD. The patient will be treated with symptomatic medical management if no organic diseases are identified. In addition, control of one's diet might be helpful. One adjustment that might be helpful is a decrease in the amount of fiber in the diet. In addition, specific intestinal therapeutic diets, like the ones used to treat food allergies, could also be helpful. Anything that kicks off the fermentation process, such as soluble fibers, will, in the end, result in a significant amount of gaseous emissions. What is successful in one scenario might not apply to another. Management of dog flatulence from a clinical and environmental perspective. The process of eating should be slowed down to reduce the stress associated with it. Competitive eating is a potential problem, says Dr. Kirk. So ensure that there are no other dogs around to incite the dog to eat more quickly and gulp more air. According to Haynes, providing dry and wet food and serving meals that are smaller in size and more frequently can help reduce the amount of air a dog takes while eating. A dog's ability to defecate is another benefit that can come from engaging in regular exercise. Dog farts are no laughing matter. Flatus is not only unpleasant but also embarrassing, and it can be an indication of more serious gastrointestinal problems. This is true regardless of the source of the flatus. It is essential to remember that if the problem is serious enough for you to comment on it, then it is significantly sufficient for you to discuss it with your veterinarian.